Hey guys, it's King. Welcome to another Autism Digest interview, where today we have one of my favorite content creators on here. He has a YouTube channel boasting over 12,000 subscribers and is well known for doing such commentaries on shows such as Little Brown Bear and Fireman Sam. He is the Cartoon Movement. Thanks for
Hey,
coming on, my friend.
hey, thank you for having me on. It's definitely a pleasure that you have invited me. I've seen some of your interviews before with like Matt Neff and King Newsme, so it's definitely an honor that you invited me on here.
Of course, the pleasure's mine. I think a lot of people recognize you if you're in the internet rap community. The 12,000 is definitely huge, but for those that may not know you, do you mind telling a bit of your story in your own words?
So in the beginning of my YouTube journey, I was a wrestling content creator. I would post wrestling related videos and just all that stuff about WWE and stuff. But then I started to lose this passion when I saw, Matt Neff, he started doing his FUDW series, and that inspired me to start a cartoon channel of my own. Now, in the beginning, it was just meant to be for fun, but I noticed my little brown bear video, the first one to be exact, was starting to blow up, and I realized, oh, now I'm gonna have to take this seriously. So ever since that day, I've just been rocking it in the cartoon community. A lot of big names know who I am, like Snipe Snap and VP Awesome. Those two also inspired me to do this. So yeah, it's really nice, and yeah, I'm still rocking it out here today. So
Am-
that's kind of my story.
Amen to that. And look at where you're at now. And Hype and BP are two of my other favorites within that community as well, which leads to my next question. Speaking of children's media, as of late, a lot of children's media has been explaining autism in a way kiddos can understand. What representations have you seen recently that get the job done?
I've seen the Arthur episode when Carl met George. You know how that handled autism pretty well with like sensory overload and stuff. I've also seen some of the Daniel Tiger episodes where they focused on Max. I believe he's also an autistic character, and just how he gets kind of overstimulated with noises and stuff. Just like how he doesn't like, like a lot of autistic people, they don't like loud noises and stuff, which is definitely something I relate to. I don't personally like loud noises myself, so
I definitely agree with you. And I'll add another one has controversial as it is. Julia from Sesame Street, she represents the other side of autism that no one, even after years of research, truly understands. So I definitely agree that those are really good choices. My next question for you is going into representation in media for a bit. How do you think Hollywood, not just the world of children's media, can improve representation of neurodiversity in their stories?
um pro- honestly, I don't see a lot of like Hollywood movies or stuff. I'm not usually into that, but what I can say is they should probably do more research on that, or just get like stories from other people that are also autistic, so just to make it more authentic to someone that they're trying to represent as an autistic character. But I know there are also a bunch of like autistic actors in Hollywood industry that have voiced that have done roles for movies and stuff. So I don't know who exactly, because I don't really check in on that stuff, but I do know there are a bunch of autistic actors in the industry as well. So
Yeah, there definitely are. One I can name right off the bat is Dan Aykroyd, who did the Ghostbusters movie and who actually penned one of my stepmom's favorite movie scripts, the Coneheads movie. Have you seen that? But going back to what you said, I absolutely agree. More research needs to be done in order to properly represent these stories that are being told. And another thing we could definitely do is have an autism consultant on set of each movie or student production or indie them in order to properly get the gist of what these individuals go through. I think then and only then can half of the problems within the media be avoided, which leads to my next question. And when I was doing research for this interview, I came across your most recent community post where one of your fans accused you of being against the autism community over something as silly as not fulfilling a request for a Doraemon video. One, I found that offensive because look where you're on now. Oh, and two, it got me thinking about the impact of toxic fan bases such as the Brat community or the Plotagon and GoAnimate communities in which I've dabbled in on and off. So my question for you is, how can toxic fan bases such as the aforementioned communities be more empathetic towards the nerdiverse community specifically? And how can that influence social media as a whole?
Um, so honestly, it's just after seeing those like seeing those accusations that that person in particular, who I won't name just to prevent harassment, but that user in particular, it kind of just made me feel bad because I'd never gotten that type of treatment before. But then again, I came to realize that it's the internet. You have your nice users, the people that support you, and then you got those toxic people. So that is something I had learned as I started to realize that. And not only that, it's just the whole brat community in general. People can be so toxic. They only care for the content. They don't care about you. They don't care about your personal life. They only care about their request being done or the content on who's the next big brat. But honestly, with that user in particular, I've tried to make them understand from my side, but it just didn't work out because they thought they were in the wrong and I was being the terrible person. But for other users, you could definitely like maybe make a if you only have YouTube, like make a post or something saying, "Hey, we don't tolerate spamming. We don't tolerate that stuff, no matter like how much you spammed. Spamming's not like it's not cool to do. It's annoying and it's just tiresome because there's only so much of someone's request you can take before you're just like, all right, I'm done. And it's not even just that one user. I made a whole video about it that should release like in 3 days. It's about why I left the Brat community because of how bad and toxic it's gotten. And I explained both of those situations in that video, you know. So I definitely think we should bring awareness about it and just like let people know that spamming isn't okay and that you don't get to use your disabilities as a way to make yourself look like some victim because you're not. Okay, you're just as normal as everyone else.
Exactly. You brought up a really good point. Not just with internet fandoms, but with anything in life. You can't use something like autism or another thing you're going through as a justification for your behavior. I went through a period in my life where I tried to use my situation as a justification for the way I act. I grew out of it over time, of course. I was young back then. I absolutely agree. If we teach people that these are the rules, you can't use X, Y, and Z thing as an excuse or justification for your actions, we'll never have half of the problems we have, not just on the internet, but as a society ever again. And I think that's a perfect way to close out this interview. Anyways, that's going to do it for this interview, guys. Thank you so much to the cartoon movement for coming on and sharing a story. If you guys want to see more amazing interviews, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the Autism Digest channel. Pick up our latest issue by going to autismdigest.com and stay tuned for the audio file of this interview to be posted on our Spotify. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.